Okay. Why am I smiling idiotically? Go. Right. So what I'm going to do now is run through the Part A questions in your booklet from page 41. There's 4 of them. And because your booklet even is in black and white, through the miracle of modern technology, I've got the colour ones up here. So I think the best approach to this would be to have your booklets in front of you and then pause the image when it matches the one on the page, and then answer the question using the colour version and my very helpful tips. I think that's all I want to say. So you've got 4 of these to do. I'm going to set up an assignment, and all I want you to do is upload the photographs into the assignment to show me that you've done them. Then the easiest way for me to correct this is I will fill out the answers in my booklet, and I will take pictures of those and I'll post them. And then you go back over your answers and you add any additional information or anything you might have been missing. Is that okay? So I'll stick an assignment up, just upload the photographs to show me you've done it, and then I can have a record of that, and then I will post pictures of the answers, and then you will self-correct. Alrighty, goodbye to me temporarily. Right, so the first one is on page 41 of your booklet. This is a higher level one. Just notice I didn't leave a huge amount of lines there, so maybe the best thing to do would be to answer these questions. Say these 1 through 4, answer them just at the side there and leave the lined bits for these ones here. Okay, before you start this, is my pen working today? Yes it is, yay. You need to pay close attention to the keys, okay? So, those boxes there are seismic stations, alright? These lines here are the seconds until the effects are felt. So here, 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 alright? The epicenter is marked for you. And is there anything else that you need to pay heed to? Oh yeah, very importantly, this scale here, okay? So, question 1, what was the magnitude of the North Ridge earthquake in 1994? Oh, sorry, look, you should also read this first, alright, because that's where the actual answers are. So on January 17, 1994, the North Ridge earthquake, magnitude 6.7, rocked the Los Angeles area, causing billions of dollars, etc., etc., etc. So 1, what was the magnitude of the North Ridge earthquake? That answer is in here. Which of the named Los Angeles urban centers was closest to the earthquake's epicenter? Okay, so you're looking for one of these here. Was it Anaheim, Pasadena, Malibu, or Ventura? Alright, which one of those was closest to the earthquake? How long did it take in seconds for the effects of the earthquake to be felt in Ventura? So you've got to go out to Ventura here, and you've got to find the seconds line that it's on, and that's your answer. And this one here is a bit more tricky. Now, why did I cover the whole page in those? Can I discard, erase all ink on side? Yay. How many kilometers does the seismic waves travel from the epicenter to point X? So here's the epicenter, here is point X. Now you must use this to figure that out. Alright, you could do it kind of roughly, but do you remember doing straight line distance junior cert? That's what I would do. I'd measure this distance on a piece of paper, or a ruler, using a straight line, not a squiggly line like that, and then use this to figure out. Don't forget your answers must be in the units of measurement, so they must be in kilometers. State 1 negative impact of this earthquake, referred to in the text above. There we go. Briefly explain 1 function of a seismic station. So, and then explain briefly 1 way of making infrastructure earthquake proof. Right, these 2 here require your knowledge. So the answers to those 2 there are not on the page in front of you. Remember, explain briefly means 2 SRPs here, 2 SRPs there. Okay, so a seismic station. Go back and have a look at your notes for that. I want 2 SRPs. And even though this says 1 way of making infrastructure earthquake proof, you need to give 2 SRPs. Now, the main place where people go wrong here is that instead of just picking 1 way and doing 2 SRPs, so they name 2 ways. Now, if you name 2 ways, you're only going to get half the marks. You need to name 1 way, SRP 1, SRP 2. I'm not going to say much more about that. I want you to try figure that out yourselves. Right, so that is 41. Turning over, 42. Now you don't need the colour version of this. Okay, so this is an ordinary level 1. We know that because it's a 30 marker. And most of the answers in this case here are in the text. So what name is given to the area where 80% of all earthquakes occur? The answer is in the text. Name the scale used to assign a magnitude rating to an earthquake. Okay, so that's a magnitude rating, so make sure you're giving the correct scale there. But actually the answer is up here. What range of magnitude is considered to be a strong to moderate earthquake? Again, the answer is up there. I just like drawing arrows. Explain briefly what is meant by a fault zone. There is, again, 2 SRPs. Part of the answer is up here, okay? But you may need to add something to this to get full marks. List 3 effects of an earthquake, okay? You just have to list. You don't have to describe, you don't have to explain. You just basically list them. And it's the effects, okay? That is not up there. You need to use your own knowledge or your notes. And then finally, explain briefly 1 way to limit the damage that an earthquake can cause. So that question is asking you, explain briefly 1 way to reduce the damage or to lessen the damage that an earthquake can cause. And just like in the last question, it's 1 way, but you need to write 2 SRPs on 1 way. All right. Page 43. This is fun. Are we having fun? Thought so. I think we might have done this before. Oh no, we did something like it. All right. What was the magnitude of the earthquake in Nepal? And that is given to you up the top, so you need to read the title. The movement of which 2 plates resulted in the earthquake in Nepal? All right. There are 3 plates named on this. You need to state which plates caused the earthquake. Then you need to say what type of plate boundary is shown above. Now that is given to you on the map. Okay, so there's a statement there which will tell you what type of plate boundary. Then you have to name 2 other types of plate boundaries. Just name. Okay, you don't need to explain or describe, just name. Then explain briefly what is meant by the term epicenter. And then explain briefly 1 way of reducing the impacts of earthquakes. So again, both of those require 2 SRPs. SRPs even, not S's. And, oh god, I need to sneeze. No, right. This question here, you'll see, repeats over and over again. So this, oh fuck. So it's important that you get this right. And you don't name 2 ways, you name 1 way with 2 SRPs. Alright, so think about that. And then you can use the same answer for all 3 questions. Page 44. So again, very important that you read this. The answers are up there. Magnitude of the earthquake, answer up there. At what depth, answer up there. State what is meant by the term aftershock. Okay, so here the verb is state, so you don't need 2 SRPs. You just need to give a very quick explanation of what an aftershock is. List 3 effects. Okay, but this time it's referred to in the newspaper extract above. So the 3 effects up there somewhere. State 2 ways that the effects of earthquakes could be reduced. Now this is slightly different. So you just name 2 ways. So it's different to how it's been answered before. Then explain briefly the term epicenter, 2 SRPs. Alrighty. Oh, why do I want to keep my ink? No, I don't. Discard. I don't know why this is happening. Anyway, I know you will only be dying to get started on that, so I won't delay you any further. But take your time with this. It's better that the quality of your answer is what I'm looking for rather than the speed of completion. And I'll post the answers, but I do need you to take pictures of that's the international symbol for taking pictures. Take pictures of your answers and post them to the assignment section so I can see for myself how you got on. And that is another installment of Earthquakes finished.